It's Two Part in the Pod by HT Group, where we talk about everything automotive and lifestyle.
So I'm your host, Ken.
And I'm Jessica. So we have two amazing guests with us today, ready to share their ride through the past, present, and future in the automotive world.
But before we dive in, let's get to know our guest of the day.
In 360 degree
Can change more times.
more fiction.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think this idea is feasible? Or do you think it's not cost effective, it's not going to work for the long term? Do you have any comments on this? It can be anything.
This will be perfect for my wife. No, she
You
can
have
camera
to
but
So your wife can't do the side parking?
cannot.
Oh,
She can, but she tries not to.
okay.
So I think with this, right, it will help her.
Not for me,
Yeah. So when she see a parking, right, she would rather drive further down
to
the
avoid
road
that.
to avoid the narrow parking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it would be very good for her.
Okay.
I think for me, I don't have issues with that.
Oh.
So
How about Dylan? How do you think?
Just like what Hsing Yang said, if you use this tire, probably the tire wear life of the tire will be shorter. They actually have a very round, we call 360 degree tires for this. I would say definitely it will be a new thing in driving, and it's going to be exciting to the industry because the newer way of driving also will be coming.
Right, on a serious note, sorry to my wife. But on a serious note, right, I think if moving forward with autonomous driving, right, this is definitely very important. Yeah, because the automation, right, is going to go into very tight spaces and all that.
Yes.
So I think this is very important for autonomous driving.
Autonomous driving, now Tesla is on the 4.0. By the time you reach 5, it's almost like autopilot kind of thing. And it's going to be very exciting to the industry. It's going to change a lot of way how people do things and do business. And the most important thing, the way how you use your car as a transport is very, very different.
Yes. So after watching the video, so do you have any trends that really catch your attention recently in the automotive world?
Actually, in the automotive world, maybe it's just really EVs and hydrogen fuel cells powered vehicles. I don't see very much of anything newer than that trend. But actually, one technology that really catch my attention was like augmented reality and also VRs. I think it's very interesting.
Yes.
And probably one day we may not need our chief mechanic on the field already. Maybe the mechanic will be wearing their VR, going to the cars, and then the chief mechanic will just sit in the office, maybe managing 10 mechanics and tell them, oh yeah, then you can take this spanner and open this up, and then this probably they can do a lot of diagnosis off-site. I think this is a technology that may be a trend in the car maintenance industry rather than just the car itself.
Yes. Because it's like, recently, Apple just launched a Vision Pro, right? And then it's like, it's a game changer because like a lot of people bring that in the subway or what. So I think like it could be a thing that we will wear like maybe 10 years later or maybe like only 5 years later.
Yeah. We don't know. I think it's really whether the applications gets more common. If there are more applications, I'm sure Apple will invest a lot more on better devices and also more softwares that can come out of all this. So I think if you ask me about trend, right, this one caught my attention recently, that there are so much more that we can do with the VR.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. because now VR is actually taking over. Like in the gaming industry, it actually plays a big role inside.
Yeah.
And I think I've been once in a fair last year, and I see that there's automotive thing. There's a new thing called simulation thing is actually trending now. That means they play all the car thing, but it's actually like you are driving a real car, and you have all the feedbacks from the real car. Like when you're driving at a high speed, you can have the air blowing to you, and you can know like if you bump onto the road, and you can there's a steering will shake and everything and chair and everything. So it's like a game thing. So I think this thing, if we implement into the professional industry, I think it's quite. I have no idea now how to blend these two things together. But I think in the near future, maybe
It could be interesting.
That's one interesting point.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the EV or hydrogen cell. Actually, when I first drove an EV, it excites me because it revolutionized the way of thinking of the combustion engine. Unlike what Hsing Yang is doing, I think EVs basically you don't really need to service that much anymore. Your maintenance is much more driven down, and it's all boils down to the software. Yeah, so like the autonomous driving or the autopilot, and this will lead to very different way of how we gonna use car. I foresee down the future with this sharing economy, I think more people will use car in a very distinctive, not like now we have a car, we drive to work, that's the mode of transport. Maybe in the weekend, we drive leisure, we drive around just for fun, and we go holiday. But down the road, I see very differently. I see a lot of people will use car as a mode of transport. You take a train, you take auto taxi or a Grab to work. But you have a car, the car level will become more recreation. You'll go to very special, maybe you join a club that's all the sports car. You just go to the club to drive. Or you go to the off-road club to drive the car off-road with different types of car. Rather than you own that car, you are sharing the car, you're renting the car, you go, you enjoy it. So 70% of us probably would no more use owning car or don't really use car just as a mode of transport. Whereas probably about 30% will have more recreational in terms of driving the car. So this also is a big challenge to us because for this industry, eventually you will have a lot of big fleet owners because less and less people owns car. So whatever we're gonna do in our business, we have to make sure we have the solution for this big fleet owner because they might have a car throughout the whole peninsula of Malaysia. They want the service level is the same, the price is the same throughout the whole country. That's the thing that why you can see we are moving more to multiple warehouses, multiple locations, because we are thinking that will be the future and that's how we're going to service this and move forward with this industry.
So it's like striking a balance between the innovation and also the current, a more practical way. Do you have anything like you want to share about how will you take or what will you gonna do to really achieve this balance, like to strike a balance between the tradition and also the innovation?
Traditional value is the core value of the company.
Okay.
So I don't see there's any problem that you hold on to the core value, but you use technology, you use other equipment to enhance your value. Okay, because our company value is 4P: people, passion, profit, process. Okay, so it's how we're going to use technology to make it better. And I always believe that in business, you always have to give solution. So we are in the solution business. And I would like to crown our acronym of HD because at the end of the day, what we want to achieve is HD is a highly trusted company, high turnover company and happy together. Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. I think we need to embrace, of course, the trends and the innovations that are coming our way, right? Something that we cannot avoid. So that is the first thing. And also we remind ourselves, I think the values that Dylan mentioned, right, is customer satisfaction is always at our priority.
First priority. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever we do, we only want to give the solution to our customers.
Serve them well.
Yeah, serve them well. So it doesn't matter what product it is, what car they drive, what vehicle they bring in, what problems they have. And also, I think one thing moving forward, right, safety, I think definitely is the priority that we want to look at. So I think when any customer comes in, right, we would want to really give them the best product, the safest product that we recommend, the services that you do to make sure your car is safe on the road. So I think that will drive us for another 10, 20 years. Yeah, before we go into autonomous driving and all that. Yeah. So really about embracing the trend that's coming in, and also I think continue the core values that we believe in, which is serving our customers.
What do you think the next big thing will be in the near future?
I think definitely self-driving. The autonomous driving is the next big thing.
I heard that, right? And I forget in which country, but I heard there's a country that is really implementing auto driving for cab.
Yeah, autopilot cab. Yeah, you have in China, you have in Switzerland.
Somehow Europe.
Okay, but that's the current trend. That's what I say. More and more people will use it as a transport rather than owning the car. But of course, this autopilot taxi now at this point of time is still very rigid because it only travel within certain part of the city that is equipped with all the LiDAR and the laser.
Okay.
So the next thing is if to do that without improving the autonomous software, it will be very costly because you have to imagine that on the highway you have to put the sensor, the LiDAR system.
Okay.
So it's still not practical for long distance travel. Within city level, it's a reality already.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely like the software in the self-driving cars, right? If it's matured, I think it changes a lot of behavior in how we own cars and how we manage our cars. Whether do we own one or do we rent one or do we use it on when we need it?
Short-term leasing. I don't foresee like a car being like a bicycle. You go from A point to B point. You drop off. Maybe you hop on the train, then you go to another city. Then you get off on another city. You lease the car to your hotel.
More like a service thing really. It's not concept already.
Yeah. You don't like own that.
That's why I say sharing economy. You share, everything is shared. You pay. You can pay a subscription or you pay as you use, rather than you owning the asset.
So Dylan, any like new ideas or innovative things that you see?
So that's why I say is that we have to be ready to serve the industry, as we will be facing more and more big fleet owners. Or the volume is there, but maybe the pricing and the service level has to be very, very high. And of course, ourselves, we have to be think innovative enough. Like we are also looking at how we're gonna change our current retail outlet, because we know that EV cars getting more and more. So while they are charging, what can we do? So we were internally also we're talking about maybe converting some of our retail outlets, one of our retail outlet, to be EV hub,
EV ready.
EV ready.
I think it's not only just the place, right? There are a lot of things that you need to be because EVs are generally heavier. Maybe the scissor sleeve, all these have to be changed. The tools that we use,
equipment have to be different.
Has to be a bit different from how we service EV. Yeah. So I think there are a lot of trends that can be seen for EVs in China. So take a look in China, you know what will be coming for EVs in our market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so before we call it a day, could you please use one word or maybe one phrase to describe your plan for 2024? It's not in the list.
I think 2023 has already been a very big growth for our group. I think 2024 is really strengthened the team again. So you cannot be always growing without strengthening your foundation, right? So for every level that we climb, we want to stable ourselves. So I think 2024 will be a year that I will be really growing my team. We will, build our bonds closer together. We will definitely talk to each other about the strategies and all that. We won't strive for like crazy growth like 2023. We want to get ready in 2024, and in 2025 we will go for a huge growth again. So this is what my plan for 2024 will be.
Okay, so stronger bonds and
A better foundation.
better
That's it.
foundation.
Strong team.
Okay,
Yeah,
stronger
cool.
team.
Yeah. Then how about Dylan?
I think because as a non-executive chairman, I'm more on the
whole
strategy in the future. I really think that I will spend more time observing and implement more how we can go through the changes with EV. As I said, I think the first thing that I hope to see is how putting a charging station in our outlets and make our outlet like a check-in points. Even I have this vision that along the whole peninsula of Malaysia, we can have many outlets. Maybe when they drive to Malacca, although they don't need to be charged, but when they need a break, they go to our outlet to charge on the way to KL or on the way to Penang. That is something that I hope to see, and I'm working with the team to look forward to.
Yeah. Maybe you need to buy an EV car first.
I'm going on hybrid, so
You're half a step there.
how that?
So one word to describe your 2024 plan. It could be EV ready or strategic
We try.
planning.
I think based on what Dylan said,
We will try our
Try.
best to be ready.
Trying to work that.
I think we have a lot of products that we're working with our suppliers as well. The products that we bring in are going to be EV ready.
Yes.
So definitely it's a step to get ready for EV. 2024, I think Dylan has put it very rightly. Even now we're talking to our suppliers, right? Be it from batteries to loops. I mean, there are greases for the EV cars to use. Then, of course, then we have the coolant that's needed by the car. And the tires are also
different.
has to be EV ready.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. I think
Thanks for all the
that's-
sharing.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
for all
sharing
the
today.
sharing.
And
I think that's all for today. Yeah. Do you
Thanks
have
for
anything
having
that
us.
you-
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
Thanks for your time as
Honored
well.
to be on the first spot.
Oh, thank you. And there you have it with the wrap up of our very first episode.
if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. We would love to hear it from you.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to join our community. Until next time,
I'm Ken.
I'm Jessica.
And remember, there are always two parts in a pod.
Safe travels, everyone.